Okay.
Wait, why are you looking for that?
All right, we see you. So we see the screen and we see the video of you. Perfect. I can see both.
Yay.
Perfect, perfect. So I'm going to turn it over to you to go ahead and introduce yourselves and get started on your presentation.
Welcome everyone. My name is Maximilian Esparza and I'm here with my partner.
I'm Aixa, and we're co-founders of Mycelium Matters. So we're an organization that's dedicated to spreading awareness. I'm really excited to be here in Uganda on the site for
Ooh.
festival. So thanks so much for joining us virtually. Appreciate all the support. And
Thank you. So first I'll be getting into the growing opportunity of mushroom farming in Africa, but this also parallels globally and applies to a global scale. So I have a couple charts up first, just showing kind of the market in Africa and globally. Let's see, the chart is and the demand in Africa for mushrooms. So there's a demand of approximately 900 tons, meaning they're only, covering 50% of the demand. So there's a large opportunity in Africa for mushroom farming. And to cultivate mushrooms to feed your community and for an economic opportunity. Share of mushrooms across the globe. So we see China has 75% of the market, whereas the rest of the world is only 25% approximately, and Africa is not much more market for Africa. There's such a large opportunity to cultivate mushrooms here, to sell at markets, at restaurants, and hotels, and also to even export dried mushrooms for value-added products across the world. And the last part here is the global mushroom market. We're right here right now, like at the first data point. So we see an uptrend. We see a growing market across the world for mushrooms. So down here, it's kind of just, what the process looks like when you have a mushroom business. You grow your mushrooms, you grow your crops, and you harvest your mushrooms, and then you take them to market. So here in Uganda, in Africa, there are a lot of local markets. In Poima, there's a central market where there's a lot of fruits and different produce. So you would take your fresh mushrooms to market to sell them, or even to your hotels. And this well, there's many different markets you can enter to sell your crops. And then lastly, you can do this presentation with Enrique, just, really just feeding the world.
Hey, Max.
And lastly, I just want to cover other opportunities.
Hey, Max, it's a little hard. You guys are cutting in and out. Hello, are you able to hear me? Sorry to interrupt. You are cutting in and out. So I'm not sure if one person needs to be closer to the speaker and not moving while you speak.
Yes, no worries. We just took a couple devices off Wi-Fi. Hopefully it'll improve
Yes.
our signal. And
Okay.
I'll talk a little slower.
oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
So lastly, I was just going to cover other opportunities beyond fresh mushrooms as food. But after harvesting your mushrooms, you have what we call spent blocks. So in Africa, they call them gardens, and other parts of the world, they're grow blocks or fruiting kits. And with these blocks and gardens, after you harvest fresh mushrooms, you can use this spent block to make very rich soil through composting these blocks. And there's different techniques. You could simply break them up and put them into another garden, or you can even vermicompost utilizing worms to break up the myceliated blocks. And there's other methods as well. So here in Uganda, not only can you use the fresh mushrooms to feed yourself and your community, but you could use this byproduct, these gardens and leftover blocks to enrich other crops and their soil, like the tomatoes that are here, the spinach, the kale, and this could be done across the world. Second, you can use mushrooms as livestock feed or byproducts of growing mushrooms as livestock feed. So sometimes you have some mushrooms that aren't best to be taken to market, or some contamination of some sorts. You could feed these mushrooms to your goats, to your chickens, pigs, different livestock. You could use it as feed rather than having to use more money to buy feed for these animals. You could supplement their feed with these mushrooms and mycelium. And lastly, really at the forefront of innovation right now is biofuel with mycelium and mushrooms. So, we use fuel all across the globe with it. And just to get here into Uganda, it took a ton of fuel, right? So now there is a lot of experimentation with fungi, with mushrooms, with mycelium to create more sustainable biofuels, or even using the waste of these mushrooms to create fuel. And lastly, I just want to go over the mushroom farms that are currently in Africa. So in approximately 14 and counting countries, there are mushroom farms here in Africa. So as you can see, there's Eco-Agric in Uganda. In the surrounding areas, we have mushroom farms in Kenya, Tanzania, Democratic Republic of the Congo, West Africa, East, Central, South. There are mushroom farms all across the continent. We even have our friend George, who has his mushroom farm in Kenya. It's right on the coast. It's in Kilifi. And we're seeing this all across the world as well. There's an expanding and emerging growth of mushroom farms all over. So that's all I have for you all. And I'm going to start passing it over to my partner, Hexa.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for growth in Africa for mushroom farming. As you could see, there's not too many stars on there. There could be more. And like Max said, there's a big demand, and it'd be great for more Africans to start mushroom farms to meet that demand. So can you hear us okay, Sarah?
I can hear
Us
you.
okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer now.
Yep.
We can hear you.
Awesome. Okay. We're going to go over some medicinal mushrooms. So mushrooms are great for food, but they're also great for medicine. A lot of different mushrooms have incredible health benefits beyond their nutritional value. And it really just depends on the type of species used. But in traditional Chinese medicine, doctors actually prescribe mushrooms for ailment or different diseases or different cancers. So this really roots back to traditional Chinese medicine. This is where I've seen it being used the most. So they're extremely beneficial for your body. So the first one I want to cover is oyster mushrooms. They're super rich in antioxidants and this compound called a beta-glucan. So there's been a couple of research papers talking about how oyster mushrooms specifically can help with diseases such as cancer as they fight free radicals in your body. This is an edible mushroom that is actually grown a lot in Africa and Uganda, and it can treat things like high cholesterol, diabetes, and cancer. And lab testing has shown that it lowers cholesterol and it has anti-tumor properties. So if you want to learn more, definitely look up research papers. I have some linked on the last slide, but oyster mushrooms are fantastic with the antioxidant content. Next mushroom I want to cover is reishi. This one is hailed for its anti-cancerous benefits, its antioxidant benefits. It has 400 different nutrients in this one mushroom. You can't really eat this mushroom. You actually have to dry it and blend it into a supplement. So this is not a mushroom you cook in the kitchen like Enrique showed us. This is definitely a really, really medicinal mushroom that you have to, like I said, dry and then blend and put into a powder. And this reduces the risk of diabetes and heart disease. It also lowers blood sugar and blood pressure. This is, I would consider, one of the most medicinal mushrooms that I know because of the nutrient content. Also, turkey tail is fantastic for anti-cancer protection. It has polysaccharides, and it has a specific one called PSK and PSP. And they actually, in the medical pharmaceutical industry, they'll extract these and turn them to drugs. But you can actually get them naturally from turkey tail. And same with the reishi. This isn't a mushroom that you cook like oyster. You can't cook these two mushrooms, reishi and turkey tail. You would have to dry them and blend them and turn them into capsules and supplements. And I know a vendor here is doing that, the Hadari Foundation. But yes, they have incredible polysaccharides. They really help with immunity. There's a really popular study, not really a study, but Paul Stamets' mom, this legend in the mycology community, had breast cancer. And he cured his mom's breast cancer by giving her, I think it was 3 grams of turkey tail a day. Am I right on that? Or are you the numbers? 4 passes. So it was a lot of turkey tail he was giving to his mom to help with her breast cancer. And after about a year, her breast cancer was gone. And I was talking to Josephine as well about giving her father different types of supplements. And she shared with me that he was actually feeling better after getting different mushroom supplements. So you can tell the difference really quickly if you're feeling bad. Cordyceps is also a fantastic mushroom, especially if you exercise a lot, if you are a bodybuilder, if you go to the gym. This really improves your immune system by stimulating various cells and chemicals in your immune system. It also helps fight cancer, reduce tumor sizes, and it's really great for lung or skin cancers. But like I said, doctors in China actually prescribe these different mushrooms to people who have these illnesses. And my favorite one is lion's mane. This one is fantastic for brain health. So a lot of people, there's research for preventatives of Alzheimer's and